Pros and cons of Summerville in 2025. Hey everyone, my name is Ryan McHugh, and about 10 years ago, my family and I packed up our home in Buffalo, New York, and headed south for Summerville, South Carolina, and we haven't looked back one bit. And I gotta tell you, I have been helping people over the last 6 years relocate to Charleston and Summerville, and I have helped over 400 families find their perfect dream home here in Summerville.
Man, that's crazy.
Now, that doesn't mean it doesn't come with a lot of complications, but when you have someone like me on your side where I'm straightforward, honest, I'm gonna give you straightforward advice, no fluff, no sugarcoating, no bullshit. I'm gonna tell you just the truth. And today, that's why I'm diving into the pros and cons of living in Summerville, South Carolina in 2025. And I gotta tell you, whether you're considering a move to this charming town or you're simply curious about what life is like, I've got you covered. I'll break down everything from housing costs to traffic headaches, and stick around until the end because I'm gonna share 2 personal pet peeves that may have you reconsidering a move here. All right, let's start out with the cons because let's face it, no place is perfect. You've seen the news articles, I'm sure you've seen the online blogs talking about how amazing Summerville is, and all the realtors just wanna tell you all the good things about it, right? Well, here are some challenges you might face if you decide to make Summerville your home.
Keep it real.
Number 1 is the traffic and commute times. Oh, this is getting worse every day, or at least it seems that way. The traffic in Summerville can be a major headache, and with the area's rapid growth, infrastructure hasn't really caught up yet. And depending on where you live, it can take you 15 to 20 minutes just to get out of your neighborhood, and another 15 minutes just to get to the I-26, and then another 30 to 40 minutes to commute downtown. That's if there's no traffic on the 26. If there is, let's say there's an accident, well, good luck, that 30 to 40 minutes just doubled.
This traffic sucks, huh?
If you're someone who's gonna be commuting, you really wanna consider how close you wanna live to the 26. And this is a conversation I have with people all the time because that's nearly 2 hours in your car each day if you're commuting, right? And rush hour just makes it that much worse, but it's a test of patience here. And if you're looking for shorter commute times, neighborhoods like Nexton, Carnes Crossroads, and Hewing Farms offer better access to major highways. However, they also are one lane this way and one lane that way. And guess what? It is a pain in the ass to try to pull out of these neighborhoods if you're looking to make a left, because you've got traffic coming this way, you've got traffic coming this way, and it's pretty consistent throughout the day. And that's where a lot of people will say, well, what happens at 5 o'clock, Ryan? That's the part that's probably the most frustrating for a lot of folks. That's where you start to see a lot of road rage and you start to see things pick up. And there's a lot of people, we have things that are called a zipper merge here. And so if you're not familiar with what a zipper merge is, it's basically the left and right lane come together and people go one car behind, just like your zipper, right? They all the teeth line right up. Unfortunately, not everyone plays nice. And a lot of those folks are the ones that are trying to cut you off or not let you in, which can be frustrating and cause accidents or even road rage. Now, here's the catch though to living close to the 26. Homes in these areas are gonna tend to be 100 to 150,000 more expensive than those ones a little further off the highway. It's an absolute trade-off you'll need to weigh carefully. And I get it because I talk to people about this subject all the time and they say, well, Ryan, I'm working for Boeing. I'm gonna be in North Charleston by the airport. Where should I be looking? And it really comes down to budget. That's where, the closer you get to those areas, the prices go up, especially for equal to quality homes. And people always say to me, well, what does that mean, Ryan? I go, well, you can buy, a kind of a run-of-the-mill cookie cutter style home in West Ashley or in Johns Island or Charleston that'll put you closer to your work, right? But it's gonna cost you maybe $550,000, $650,000, $700,000. Whereas if you're looking in Summerville, sure, you're further out, but that same home will cost closer to $400,000.
That's a good deal.
All right, number 2 con, overcrowding. So Summerville has exploded in popularity. No secret, the secret's out, everybody knows. And so with that popularity comes growing pains. Listen, schools are, getting there. They're building new schools, so able to accept new students. However, every year it seems like we get to capacity, right? And wait times for services are just out there. I mean, if you're looking to go see your doctor, you make a doctor's appointment, they're looking at 3 to 4 months out. And then haircuts, if you want a haircut, you got to book it at least 2 to 4 weeks out. And even your favorite local restaurants might require reservations. Get familiar with Resy. It's an app. A lot of the restaurants here use it. It's a really great way to schedule a reservation, or if you're thinking about going out in a week from now, 2 weeks from now, you can schedule that reservation. And let's say you don't, you can always cancel it. So there's the benefit of that. And the town's small charm is still here. That's one of the big things. People say to me, oh, has it lost that small charm, that small town charm? And I say, no, it still has that small town feel. But yeah, it's starting to fade away as Summerville transforms into a bustling suburban hub. And so we're starting to see local leaders are working to expand schools and improve infrastructure, but these changes do take time. And if you're not a fan of crowded spaces, this could be an absolute deal breaker for you. All right, number 3 on the list, flooding. Flooding and gators. You know what? People always call me up and go, how concerned should I be with the flooding and gators, Ryan? I'm like, as concerned as anyone else. I mean, like much of the Lowcountry, because it is called the Lowcountry, Summerville has areas with moderate to high flooding risk. And according to floodfactor.com, about 7% of properties in the 29483 zip code to 29485 have a significant higher chance of flooding versus the 29486 zip code. And again, these are all put out by FEMA and floodfactor.com. So if you got beef with them because this happens to be your zip code, take it up with them.
I will drive you out into the desert and leave you there for the entire month of August.
Chance of being impacted by flooding over the next 30 years is relatively high in these areas. Now, is that to say all areas flood? No. When you're looking to relocate here, you want to look for areas like flood zone X. Now, X, you're not going to be required to carry flood insurance on your policy by the mortgage company. But let's say you're buying in a new construction neighborhood like Summers Corner, and there are parts of the neighborhood that do require you to carry flood insurance. And that flood insurance can be anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 a year. So if you're not planning or budgeting for that additional cost, it might have you reconsider looking in those neighborhoods. And is flood insurance a must? Well, the good news is not all neighborhoods are at high risk. And I think it's a good idea for as cheap as flood insurance is when you don't need it. Like when you have an X property, I live on an X property, mine is $400 a year. Not bad. I'll take a $400 gamble that, hey, if my house floods, the insurance company is going to take care of it. But a knowledgeable real estate agent, me, can help you identify areas that are less likely to experience flooding. But if you're someone who worries about hurricanes, you're worried about flooding, climate change, oh, we got to get rid of fossil fuels, then this area is just not for you.
No, Jose.
Because you're going to be concerned about it all the time. And then let's add in the alligator issue. Okay, alligators are here, folks. They're not going anywhere. I know a lot of you are concerned because you got little dogs and kids. Listen, the gators are more scared of you than you are of them. And unless you're feeding the gator, they're really not going to get comfortable with humans, and they're not going to want to have anything to do with you. Now, again, that's why I say there are people, stupid people, who think it's a great idea. Let me pick up a baby gator. Let me feed a gator. You're an idiot, and you shouldn't live here. Simple as that.
I don't know why you always have to be judging me.
And simply because you're just creating a situation that is impacting the entire neighborhood. By feeding that gator, you're getting them comfortable with humans and being around in our neighborhoods. These gators, they really want to stay in the water. They want to stay hot. They like the puffy mud. That's why you see more of them in the marsh areas than you do really in the residential areas. But yeah, they're there, folks. I have one behind my house. She's about 5 feet. She's got some babies. She stays there. We don't bother her. She doesn't bother us. And that's how it works. So yeah. All right, number 4 on the list of cons, limited home design variety. Now, this is my really polite way of saying cookie cutter, okay? Because let's just be honest, a lot of these builders do not care about aesthetic appeal. They're like, hey, we're gonna put these communities up, we're gonna slap them down, we're gonna put our 5 best floor plans in. All the features, all the options inside are gonna be exactly the same. We're just gonna replicate all 5 floor plans over and over and over and over again until the whole neighborhood looks like garbage, okay? So that is a reality here, and it sucks because there are some really nice neighborhoods that then they plop down these cookie cutter subsections. And so, you know, it doesn't leave a whole lot of variety for someone who likes maybe crown molding. Maybe you like a gourmet kitchen. Maybe you like soft closed drawers. Maybe you're someone that's like, hey, I want a spa shower.
I like nice things, I do.
Well, the builders are all gonna be like, yeah, that's great. You can do that after you close and you have a contractor come out and they take care of it for you.
That's not nice.
So what I mean, it's really, there's no creativity in new construction. And a lot of these neighborhoods offer a semi-custom approach. So think about it like this. If you pick out the lot, you pick out the floor plan, and then you can go to the design center and pick out all your options. And yes, there are some builders that will let you customize, move walls and things like that. But keep in mind, this is going to come at a premium. If you're someone sitting there like, Ryan, we would love that. Would $400,000 be a budget we could do something like that in? Absolutely not.
Shoot, what a bummer.
If you're someone that's like, well, what about 450? Yeah, that's probably gonna get your foot in the door, 1,600 square feet, that kind of thing. But if you're someone with a family, or maybe you got mom and dad living with you, grandma, grandpa, whoever, and you're looking for something closer to like 2,800 to 3,000 square feet, you could be looking close to $1 million in Summerville just to get that more creative, new construction, non-cookie cutter feel. Now, I understand many neighborhoods do feature cookie cutter homes that can feel very repetitive. And if you're dreaming of a custom home or a unique architectural style like Craftsman, or some people like the more stone, the really exotic looking homes, the kind of the California style, you know, there's all these different styles. And so people always say to me, they're cabin style homes there, Ryan. Not really, but again, you might be disappointed with some of these newer developments because they're just not building homes like they used to, right? And that said, older neighborhoods in Summerville often have a lot more character and charm to the houses. So neighborhoods like Ashboro, Iron Gate, these neighborhoods feature these more, you know, one-off homes where it doesn't look like every home is the same home stacked together. So if that's what you're looking for, Summerville does have it. It's just gonna be in an older home, or you're gonna have to pay a little bit more of a premium for it. So if individuality is important to you, some of these areas might be worth exploring, and we'll talk about it when you give me a call. I'm happy to review all of this information with you. All right, number 5 on the cons is increased crime and accidents. Yes, so obviously around the holiday seasons, there's always gonna be an increase in crime and deadly accidents in the area, which is a concern for a lot of people who are looking to move here and many residents. Just recently, an Amazon employee was caught stealing gifts for Christmas from the actual facility. She'd roll them in a cart and go into an apartment complex, and there's these things for the mail that she put it on there, you know, and then she'd scan it and then put it back and take it out to her car. So
don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious.
You get caught, people. There's cameras everywhere. Don't come here and do dumb shit. Because as the population grows, so does the potential for crime and traffic related incidents. This can impact the overall sense of safety and security to the whole area. And to address these issues and concerns, local law enforcement, which I love, is implementing new strategies and increasing patrols to deter criminal activity. Community watch programs and neighborhood associations also play a very crucial role in promoting safety and kind of giving a sense of vigilance amongst the residents. I mean, I gotta tell you, when we first moved here, I couldn't believe how many police officers could take their cars home and park them in the driveway. But what this does is this creates what's known as visual deterrence. So think about it. If you're a bad guy, you're a robber, and you step into one of these neighborhoods and you see 6 cop cars on 2 of the 3 different streets, are you really going to commit a crime in that neighborhood? Probably not.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So by staying informed and engaged with all the local safety initiatives, you can absolutely contribute to a safer environment for everyone. And I gotta tell you, my number 7th con, it's probably the one that frustrates the most people, the competitive market. So one of the biggest cons of Summerville, South Carolina is just that everybody knows about it now. Everybody's becoming a realtor to try and sell it now. And it's really growing rapidly. And I mean, businesses, houses, restaurants, stores, you name it. I mean, no matter where you look in Summerville, dirt is being moved. So is the competitive housing market, with 78 people a day moving to the Tri-County area. Finding a house to buy can almost seem impossible, especially if your budget is under $400,000. The competitive market drives up the prices, and people who are selling think they have the next $1 million property. Some people are justified and some are just downright delusional. I've met some of these people myself, talked to them, and they're like, yeah, my house is worth $1 million. No. It's like, no, comps say it's only worth about 600. So anyways, however, because it is a competitive market, people will call me. I will help them navigate the complex strategy of my negotiation style. I recently helped a client over the summer secure a beautiful brand new construction home in a very high demand part of Summerville, in a neighborhood that the home was listed for $555. And when I was looking at the comps and doing my homework, I actually noticed that the home really was probably closer to $500. And so one of the things that I did was I had dialogue and conversation with the listing agent, showed her, hey, this is where I'm getting my client's offer price from. And boom, we got $55,000 off the price of that home. And now my clients have closed on it and they absolutely love it. And people will say to me, Ryan, how do you do it? You need to just let me be your buyer's agent, because I can help you too. It's what I do. I have a very unique negotiation style, but also I back up a lot of what I do with factual information and having dialogue with everybody to make it feel like a win-win for both sides. Let's dive into what makes Summerville such an attractive place to live. Spoiler alert, there's a lot to love about this town.
I know, it's better here.
First off, location. Summerville is perfectly positioned just 30 minutes from downtown Charleston. We're 93 feet above sea level, and we're only 15 minutes from Ridgeville, where major employers like Volvo, Walmart have all set up shop. We're gonna have a recycle plant here for electric vehicle batteries. I mean, the jobs are just gonna be endless, and you get the benefit of living near a major city without the chaos and high costs. Plus, Summerville's proximity to Charleston means you're never far from the incredible food scene, the entertainment, cultural events, and who can forget the beaches? Like, the whole point of moving here is to be close to the beach, I think. Next pro is affordable cost of living compared to Charleston. So it is true, the cost of living in Summerville is much more reasonable than Charleston. And if you're looking at house prices, it is much more affordable in comparison. And you get more square footage for your dollar. Now, groceries, utilities, and even dining out here can be typically less expensive, which means you can enjoy a comfortable lifestyle without breaking the bank. You're not gonna be just making it rain every time you go out to eat. And I gotta tell you, my wife and I, we've got 5 kids. Our youngest, she's too young to eat. But so when we go out, the four other ones, they eat. And so we just went out to Summerville the other night and we had a dinner. The kids all got kids meals. My wife and I both got, regular meals, regular adult meals. Plus, we got a couple of milkshakes for the table. It was just, it was a really good American dinner. That dinner before tip was $93 for all of us, which, if you ask me, in today's time, that's pretty affordable.
Not bad.
And then you tack on the tip, which I always go ahead and tip above and beyond. So I did a $25 tip. And the other thing to know is that if I was to have gone downtown Charleston and had maybe that similar meal, but in Charleston, I would have been paying almost double that.
Ain't gonna happen.
And I know you guys think that's crazy, but when you're in an area like Charleston that is a very tourism driven, you're gonna expect the prices to be much higher. And it's also historic, which for some reason gives everybody the feeling that their home is worth $2 to $4 million that's downtown. And it probably is. But that's based on opinion, especially if you got to pump a whole lot of work into an older home. All right, number 3 pro, tight-knit communities. So one of Summerville's greatest strengths is its sense of community. The true natives and long-term residents are very warm and welcoming, and you guys are screwing it up. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. And deeply rooted in Southern hospitality. It's an absolute place where people will say to me all the time, it's a place where people still say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, and where neighbors look out for each other. I'll give you an example. My neighbor right across the street from me, every once in a while, I forget to close the garage door. Well, this guy, when he gets home from work, he picks up his phone and he calls me, hey, I just want to let you know your garage door is open if you forgot it. Cool, man. Thanks so much. Go out there, close my garage door. If somebody's walking my property and I'm not home and he doesn't see my vehicle and he's across the street, picks up his phone, calls me, and I know that something's going on at my house whenever I see his name in my phone. So that's just and again, the no sir, yes ma'am, like that is manners. That's what this world was initially built on. And so we got to get back to that. You know, we're in such a divisive time now. We got to get back to the manners, the politeness, the Southern hospitality. That's what the South is all about. And a lot of you are relocating here and you're not adapting to that. And if you're new to the area, give yourself time to adapt to the local culture, because embracing the Summerville way of life will make your experience here so much better. I got to tell you, there's a lot of people who have piss poor attitudes. They move here thinking their attitude will change just because they moved here, and it simply won't. You have to change. You have to be different. You have to put in the work. You can't drive around on the roads here, flip people off, cut people off, tailgate people, and then expect people to be nice to you. And that's why a lot of the natives, as they refer to themselves, feel, because you guys are just coming here and you're not adapting to the way of life. So you have to adapt. That's a big, big thing that I tell everybody. You just got to adapt. You got to get into the way of life. If you don't like pickleball, don't come here, because there's a lot of freaking pickleball. All right, moving on to pro number 4, proximity to travel destinations. Do you love to travel? So not only is Summerville an ideal home base, but Savannah, Hilton Head, Columbia, Myrtle Beach are all less than a 2-hour drive. And then the airport's 35 minutes away. So if you wanted to hop on a plane, you can go anywhere because it's an international airport. So if you want to fly out of the country, you certainly can. You're also less than a 6-hour drive from Florida's theme parks and 8 hours from Miami's cruise port. So if you're someone that's like, hey, we want to go cruising for the weekend, great. You've got it. You're only an 8-hour drive away. All right, pro number 5, excellent schools. So Summerville's schools consistently rank among the best in South Carolina. The Dorchester District 2 schools are known for their academic programs, extracurricular activities, and dedicated teachers. There's also the Berkeley County School Districts, which are also fantastic. My own daughter attends a school that's rated 8 out of 10, and we couldn't be happier with her experience. If you're a parent, do your homework on schools here. School quality can vary depending on the neighborhood, but overall Summerville offers a very strong educational foundation for kids. But you just got to do your homework. Got to figure out what's the right option for you. Some of you come here and go, hey, you know what? We want private. Okay, cool. They got plenty of private options. You're just going to have to pay for it. The number 6 pro, family-friendly environment. So from the Flower Town Festival to Movies Under the Stars, Summerville is just packed with family-friendly activities. The town's low crime rate and abundance of parks make it an ideal place to raise kids. For retirees, there are plenty of opportunities to stay active, from pickleball leagues to classic car shows. There is no end to it. Funny, quick little story. But recently I was out with some people and they all started talking about how they're playing pickleball. And I was like, what is going on? Everybody's joining pickleball. So now I'm actually considering joining a pickleball group.
Danger's my middle name.
I'm a little busy right now this time of year. So I'm going to wait till after the year gets kicked off. We're really going to ramp it up. But I am definitely checking out pickleball this year. And the classic car shows, or the car shows in general here, are phenomenal. You have the Cane Bay Car Club. You also do have the car shows in Daniel Island. So again, if you're someone who's all about those additional opportunities to stay active in Summerville, there's tons of things going on. Now, number 7 pro is neighborhood amenities. So many of the master plan communities in Summerville come with these fantastic amenities, including pools, fitness centers, and community events. Nexton and Karns Crossroads stand out as examples. Now, offering everything from their farmers market to food truck nights. If you're coming from up north where winters keep you indoors for months, you are going to love the outdoor lifestyle Summerville offers. One of the cool parts about Karns Crossroad is they have an agrihood. So they're going to have an 11-acre agricultural farm in the neighborhood. So if you're someone that's like, hey, we just want to be a part of our neighborhood, well, you not only are going to have the fantastic amenities, you're going to have 2 pools, you're going to have a gym in there, you're going to have so much in Karns Crossroads. And then Nexton has its Midtown Club. It has a swim club in Brighton Park. And then if you're someone that's like, well, Ryan, we're thinking of Cane Bay. Well, Cane Bay is great too, because Cane Bay not only has different subsections, right? So kind of like there's Midtown and Brighton Park Village, but they also have, each subsection has its own amenity center. Now, again, these amenity centers are not the size of what Karns Crossroads and Nexton has. However, they still have a pool, they still have an amenity center, they still have outdoor grills and things like that. So each neighborhood is a little bit different. So there you have it, a comprehensive look at the pros and cons of living in Summerville, South Carolina in 2025. This town isn't perfect, but it's full of charm, opportunity, community spirit, and I gotta tell you, I honestly wouldn't want to live anywhere else. Whether Summerville is the right place for you depends on your priorities and lifestyle. Now, as promised, my 2 biggest personal gripes with Summerville, number 1 is the unpredictable traffic pattern. So I spend most of my day in my car, unless I'm shooting these videos in my studio. And one day it's smooth sailing, and the next day you're stuck in a gridlock because of a minor fender bender. The lack of sympathy on the roadways is also frustrating. As I mentioned earlier about the zipper merge, there's a couple of zipper merges between, where I usually go and how I get home. And I got to tell you, the people who are causing the most issues are the people who haven't updated their license plates since they moved here. Arkansas, Nevada, and I'm not Vermont, Ohio, and I'm not calling you guys out and being like, bad, you guys shouldn't live here. No, I'm saying you guys need to, 1, update your freaking license plate because you were supposed to do that 45 days into moving here. 2, you need to get your shit together and stop driving like you own the road. And that's the problem. There's no empathy for anyone else. Everybody is out for themselves and everyone's on their damn phones. And this is what causes the accidents. This is what causes the problem. If everybody got off their phones, everybody just paid attention to driving and not, give a little sympathy. Hey, somebody's moving over, let them over. Let them merge. You guys will hold the merge line so tight that you're like, well, screw that guy. And then generally an accident comes of it or a road rage incident. So don't be a stereotype that we're going to read about in a couple of months on the news because you got shot because you were trying to play chicken with somebody on a zipper merge.
So do us a favor, don't do it.
All right, number 2, my second personal con is the people who refuse to adapt to the culture and lifestyle here. Guys, the whole point of moving here is the lifestyle. You need to be laid back and relaxed. Enjoy it. The food, the cultural scene, everything, the music scene, all of it. And you got to adapt to the politeness and manners of people in the South. In the last couple of years, a lot of non-natives, and you know who you are, have relocated here and you refuse to adapt to the lifestyle. And they still act like they did in New York, California, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Ohio. And a lot of it is a very hostile attitude, or it's a I don't give a attitude. Hey, Tommy, I don't give a you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm from New York. I'm walking here. You get that kind of stuff. And a lot of it is a very hostile attitude. So just be a little bit more considerate to your natives. A lot of them are frustrated that you're all here, but that's okay. They can't force you not to come here, but just be aware that you just need to be considerate, thoughtful of other people. In conclusion, even with all of these personal annoyances, I wouldn't trade living in Summerville for anything else. If you're considering a move, drop your questions in the comments below or reach out to me directly, 843-226-5535. Or if you want to see available properties now in Summerville, go to www.buyatown.com. buyfromrye.com. Go ahead and click this video if you want to see some of the neighborhoods I was talking about.